Hair loss is such a common problem, for women as well as for men, and it can happen for all sorts of reasons, after pregnancy, after illness like COVID, and especially in menopause, because 2/3 of menopausal women have issues with hair loss, and it's always distressing because it can have a major impact on how we feel about ourselves. Yet very few people actually seek treatment, and GPs don't often take hair loss very seriously, probably because it's so common. There are existing treatments that actually work. They're primarily drugs like minoxidil. They can have side effects, they need to be used long term, and if you're using the lotion version, they can leave your hair really oily. But here is a new treatment, one with plenty of proof behind it too. I went to see Dr Tapan Patel at the Phi Clinic, and he introduced me to an innovative treatment called Calecim Advanced Hair System that can tackle hair loss using growth factors derived from stem cells. And I had a treatment there with the nurse, Libby Roos, who also showed me how to use the at-home version, which uses exactly the same serum and is much cheaper. And I wanted to give it a go at home and show you how to do it. And I'll be sharing a special discount code later in the video. I'm using it on the areas where I have mild hair loss, because my hair's pretty good, but I've got a bit of hair loss along the parting, and also in these kind of hormonal V's, as Libby calls them, here and here. You get 6 little vials like this and a derm stamp, and this is clinically proven to stimulate hair growth by reinvigorating dormant and sluggish hair follicles, and it also helps by reducing inflammation, which is what causes hair to shed in the first place. It's one of the main reasons. So what I do is first I clean the area with an alcohol swab. Then I apply a few drops of serum. Now I'll start with the parting. You have to squeeze this little tube to get the stuff out. You don't want to shake it. And I'm going to go down the parting, not quite touching on the hair. And then I'm going to rub that in. Then I'll take the derm stamp, and how I'm going to use this is with a kind of cross hatching motion. So I go one way and I go the other way on the same spot. So that will get as many tiny holes as possible. Now, I know you're going to be looking at this and those needles and thinking, ouch, but in fact, it is only lightly prickly. These are 0.5 millimeter needles. So long enough to make tiny holes. And along the parting, I find this is really quite comfortable because there's a lot of hair, softening the impact to the needles. So I'm going to make a bunch of holes up and down here, and then I'll apply a few drops more serum. It's quite runny. I find if I tip my head forward a tiny bit, then it runs straight down the parting. You want to keep it in that bit you've just needled. You can see the parting's looking a bit pink, but not bad. Calecim is clinically proven to deal with mild to moderate hair loss in both men and women. And if you want to learn more about how it works or find links to scientific studies behind the product, take a look at our website, because this product does actually have published studies in peer-reviewed journals. And how this works is the serum contains growth factors that, in a nutshell, act as messengers telling our cells to repair themselves. So it's harnessing our body's own natural ways of regenerating cells. And actually the key ingredient in this is called PTT6, and it contains exosomes and cytokines as well as growth factors. They're all proteins that help cells to regenerate. Now this is a bit more prickly because these areas are more sensitive, and there isn't the amount of hair getting in the way, so the needles are going straight into the skin. And what I'm aiming at here is to get a nice even redness, or erythema in doctor terms, an even redness, because that will show I've traumatized the skin enough by making all these holes. But like I was saying, you don't want actual bleeding, because that would stop the serum from going into the skin because if blood's coming out, then the serum can't be going in. So I'm rubbing it into the follicles that are there and also the ones that aren't on this V-shaped patch. And then I'll go across it with the stamp one way and the other way. This stamp comes with the kit, and its little needles are going to last you for the 6 weeks of the treatment. And if you're treating your whole head or more places, you just treat as appropriate. You make a parting, clamp it down, add the serum, needle, add the serum. So you've got a kind of serum sandwich. And if you end up with a bit left over, like I have, because I'm only doing small areas, you can use this over the next 24 to 48 hours. I quite like to do a little light needling and then reapply, because it will last. It doesn't have to go in the fridge or anything, but you put a little lid back on it and use it within the next 24 to 48 hours. So I do this on clean hair just because, and it's best once you've got the product going into your hair to leave it on for 24 or 48 hours to get the maximum effect from the product. So I find the easiest thing is to wash my hair before and then treat it. I think it would absolutely work on dirty hair, but it feels better to have a clean scalp, get the debris off, then make those holes and get this product in there. Then I'll really massage it into the whole area where I've been working. It's not sore to massage it in because it's just a bit red, that skin. It's not too traumatized. And I also feel I'm massaging it into a wider bunch of follicles than I've needled, but it's concentrated on the key areas. And you can see it leaves the hair a little bit damp, but not actually wet. I mean, I've got quite thick hair, so if your hair is thinner, it may leave it a bit wet, but I find it dries without leaving it too sticky. But in summary, it promotes more hair in the growing phase. It reduces inflammation, which is one of the major things that causes hair to fall out and stop growing in the first place. It improves hair quality, including increased strand thickness, which makes all of your hair feel thicker. And all of these add up to visible results in 6 to 12 weeks. I'm 3 weeks into my treatment plan at the moment, and what is really exciting is that I can see some tiny baby hairs starting to come through in these treated areas. Anecdotally, though the company doesn't claim this, Calecim also appears to help to some extent to return colour to the hair. You need to apply this once a week, and it takes 6 to 12 weeks to get results, depending on how your own hair responds. This is a clinic standard, clinically proven treatment that you can do easily and more cheaply at home. The Tweakments guide can offer you 15% off the normal price. So if you would like to give Calecim a try, click the link and you will get the best price you can for this product anywhere. And I look forward to seeing your results. Do share them. I'll show you my full results when I've got them.